Hey everyone, so today I wanted to share with you 5 things that I use in my classroom to help it run more efficiently. So the first thing, these are super quick and easy. The first thing that I like to do is have the papers that I'm going to have the students use for the day set out on a table, and when they come in the classroom they know to pick up those handouts. This I know kind of sounds simple and it seems like it may not really save you a lot of time, but I've found that if I have to pass out something and try to maneuver through my classroom quickly without causing the students to kind of get distracted or off task with whatever I'm doing, that this really just kind of helps with that. So I start right at the beginning of the year, the first day, having the handouts that I'm going to be using that day on the designated table, and every day the students come in, they know that there are handouts back there that they need to pick up. The second thing is how I organize work for students who are absent. I have tried several things over the years, and the one that I have found that is the easiest for me and the students is to just keep baskets of extra copies of papers, and they know where they are on the bookshelf to go grab. So I have 3 baskets that I keep, one for each period I teach, and once I hand out or have the handouts from that day that are left on the table, I pick them up and put them in the basket that goes with the class period that used them, and the students know if they're absent to go check through the basket to see if there's any handouts. And that's really the only thing that they need from me, because everything else that we do is on our Microsoft Teams, so anything digitally they will already be able to access. And this really saves me a lot of time. It saves them time because they can just go straight to that basket and find what they need. I have tried the different folders that say like Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. You know, those are great. They look great. But I found that I have a hard time remembering to go and put the correct thing in the day. And this just is kind of part of my routine. After they get through the handouts, the extras I just put in that basket. And it's there. I leave the handouts in there for a little while. And then I purge throughout the year just to try to get the extras out of there that aren't needed anymore. The third thing that I found that is super helpful is to assign classroom jobs. Now, I'm a middle school teacher, and I know sometimes people think of classroom jobs as being kind of elementary, but I have found that it is really helpful. So a couple of the jobs that I have for my classroom is like paper handler. So this person would pass out papers that I have graded to give back to students. And these aren't going to be like test grades or essay grades or anything big like that that's going to have a number grade on them. This is going to be things that they've done in group work where they're getting like a participation grade on it, because obviously I wouldn't want students to see other students' bad grades. But this helps out a lot. So I have 2 sets of trays. I have an in set of trays for students to turn in their work, and then I have an out set where I put the graded papers once I've graded them. And my paper handlers know when they come in class that day, if there are papers in the out tray, they pick them up and pass them out at the beginning of class to those students so they can get their collected work back. It has been really helpful. Another job that I have is an IT person who helps with tech issues that may come up. So I select students who say that they are really good with helping with tech stuff, and it comes in useful, you know, if somebody's having an issue and I'm already helping a student, then that student can just kind of go in and offer assistance. It's also really helpful if I have a new student come in throughout the year and they just kind of need to get set up on everything that we already use, so that student can then kind of go in and help them. Another really quick fix that I have found has really made my class time more efficient is timing things. And so what I mean by that is I am on a block of time. So we have about roughly 90 minutes in the class. I can do a lot in a block, but I also don't want to give too much time to things that don't need that much time. So when I say, you know, you're going to get about 5 minutes on your bell ringer, I stick to that. I put 5 minutes on the clock. I have a timer that is visible for the students. They get their 5 minutes. Once that time's up, we transition to the next thing. This keeps me on track and it keeps them on track. It also helps them, especially when we're doing writing assignments that are timed, for them to know that they're going to have to get this done within maybe a 15-minute or 20-minute window, so that they can use their time wisely. I found that students stay on task better with this. They know that they can't kind of, you know, go, drift off into space, things like that. So that has been really helpful. And then occasionally there'll be something that happens where I realize, you know what, maybe 10 minutes wasn't enough for them, and I can bump it up, to 5 more minutes, and I'll ask, I know you've only got a couple minutes left, would you want more time? And they'll really be kind of honest, because they're working and they're wanting to finish, so they'll say add more time. But I have found that has made me be able to fit in everything that I need to fit in a lot easier. I'm not wasting time on some assignments where maybe I'm just like waiting on 1 or 2 people to finish up, and it's a small thing, and it may not really matter if everybody gets all of the questions done. And I think it also helps with the classroom management aspect, because if I'm only waiting on 2 students to finish something that's not super important that they finish like maybe all 10 problems on, maybe if they finish like 5, they kind of get the practice that they need. I'm also limiting those chances for people to get off task and kind of cause disruptions. All right, and the last thing is helping students keep up with their supplies. So in my classroom, I have drawers, tower drawers, where the students keep their notebook and their accordion folder with all of their work in it, and then all of their notes from class. And to me, this cuts down on having them come in and say, oh, I forgot that super important thing we were working on today, because it stays in my classroom. Now, students can take these out if they want to, but they do need to keep in mind that they're going to need it in class, and I don't give homework, so there's not really a need for them to take it home for that purpose. The only purpose where they would need to be taking their notebook out is if they are going to study for a test, and they just need to know that they need to bring it back. But I found that this is a super easy way to keep that whole I forgot my thing in my locker, I need to go back and get it, or I left it at home excuse, so that we can kind of get on and get in with the lesson. And I just have a drawer labeled for each class period, 3 drawers. They know to go and get it as soon as they come in and sit down, and then they put it up at the end. And it really cuts down on those excuses and make everybody have what they need so that they can learn for the class. All right, so those are 5 things that I hope will be useful to help you make your classroom more efficient. If you have any suggestions or any ideas of things that I can do in my classroom to even be more efficient on any of the tasks that I talked about, or just any ideas in general that you think would be helpful, please leave those in the comments down below. Thanks for watching. Bye!